Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now I am filming this on my new computer with new monitors, and I assume it's going to go wrong. I hate computers. I hate technology. And you know what I hate about it is the lack of control. It's not that I'm bad at it. As I always like to tell people whenever they talk about technology, I go, hey, look, I was downloading MP3s off of Napster in 1998, okay? True story. People in my office are like, we've heard that 1,000 times, okay? Guess what the first MP3 I ever downloaded was? Ghetto Superstar. It took 35 minutes. It was on something called Winamp. Here we are in 2020, and I swear to God, I get this new computer and I'm losing my mind. What is the cloud? Where are my files? They're on the cloud. Where are they? I want them here. Anyways, that's my story. So hoping this works. So far so good, actually. Serious email issues. It drives me crazy, like the back end of the blog when things aren't working. I hate losing control. It's part of my OCD. Anyways, guys, what are we going to talk about today? As you saw from the subject, we're talking about penthouse condos. And I think the rub for me was that I was looking for a client. Okay, I've got a client, he's a former NHL hockey player. He's looking for something really cool. And so I'm thinking like really cool loft, really cool. Kind of got this penthouse idea, right? Kind of got this penthouse idea. And you know me, if you've ever seen these videos or read my blog before, I think the idea of the penthouse in most cases is ridiculous. So here's a story for you. I lived at 230 King Street East, Unit 223, years ago. And I was getting ready to sell my place, and a colleague of mine from Bosley was also selling his. And his was the penthouse. So I had a 450 square foot terrace. What's that worth? 40 grand, 50 grand at the time? And he was like, well, ours is the penthouse. Who cares? You're what, the 18th floor to 18th floor? Who cares? You're 1823, who gives an SHIT? My dad now, so I spell the words. Does it matter if you're on the 16th, 17th, or 18th? There's no difference. So normally a penthouse is exclusive. There's an elevator that goes right to it. You have a 14-foot ceiling, and there's a big terrace and no one's above you. This guy had none of that. They kept saying, I know, but David, we are the penthouse. So drives me nuts. What also drives me nuts is the idea of PH1 and PH2. No, there's one penthouse. And I'll see if I can dig it up. Hopefully I can. There's this famous photo that I have somewhere in the archives here that shows, I think this is a building, Lumiere at 770 Bay. It's like penthouse 1, penthouse 2, penthouse 3, penthouse 4, penthouse 5, penthouse 6. Okay, if the building was 190 stories, maybe. But this is like a 30-story building, and like a quarter of them are penthouse units. It's ridiculous. So before I get into the 5 properties today, as you can tell, I'm pretty salty. I'm on like no sleep, man. You know, my wife's like, why can't we go on a vacation when other people that I work with are all going on vacations? I'm addicted to work. It's actually easier than parenting. Please don't repeat that. So I want to show you these two. Okay, so 230 King Street East, penthouse 16. This is a classic example of exactly what I'm talking about. See this? Level 17. There's 17 stories. This just happens to be the top unit. There's nothing special about this. It's the same unit as the one below and the one below. The ceilings aren't any higher. This actually kind of shows like crap. There's nothing interesting about this unit. So do you add any value whatsoever for the fact that this is the penthouse? Seriously, look, PH 16. Okay, it's the same. This is unit level 17, so it's technically unit 17, 16, 16, 16, 15, 16, 14, 16. They're all the same, and there is no outdoor space. Now let me show you another one. Wow, $8 million. Okay, how's David going to badmouth an $8 million condo? Well, I don't know. It's the top floor here. Like, who cares? So let's say for argument's sake, you're given $8 million and you're allowed to go and buy a piece of real estate. This may be the last place that I would buy is an $8 million condo at 10 York Street. I mean, look, this is cool. I think we can all agree that this is really neat. That's the CN Tower, and that's the sunset, and that's the water. Okay, yeah, cool. Like, I mean, we're not in a position, you or I, to crap on an $8 million condo. I mean, look at that, right? Cool. Yeah. $8 million? What's wrong with this, guys? CN Tower from every room. Cool. When was the last time you were at the CN Tower? Seriously. Yeah? Will Alsop's 9th birthday. That's when. Yep, we did that whole thing where the elevator shakes and they tell you that you're going to the center of the earth, which we know couldn't happen because you would burn because of the molten lava. Or actually the CN Tower stair climb. I used to do that. 14 minutes, 36 seconds I did. I'd love to know what I do now. Anyways, this is just a god-awful, $8 million. Now my favorite part, okay, see this price change here? Been on the market 94 days, 8,380,000. 7980, huh? Hey, I got an idea. We're having trouble selling our property at 7,980,000. Raise the price. Raise the price. Head explode. Yeah, create false demand. Oh, you didn't want it at 7,980,000? Guess what? Wah, wah. Now you have to pay me 8,380,000. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. If I could divide it up, I would buy a $4 million house and I would pocket $4 million. And I would never in a million years. If I had a client who said, David, I have $8,380,000, what should I buy? I literally would make a list and I would take this and I would put it at the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to look at 5 actual penthouses. Those were not penthouses, but I kind of randomly selected these. I wanted to start, so you can see we're starting at 1,875. We're going up to 5 million. Now the $5 million property is one that it's not worth 5 million, but it could be worth 4, right? Or it could be worth 4.5. That $8 million thing is just mind blowing. So we're going to start here with 436 Wellington Street West. Now, 436 Wellington is where? It's in the Fashion District. This is a very cool loft conversion. The issue with this, I will say, actually the original issue was there was like a bar here, Sea Lounge. Remember a friend of mine took some weird SHIT back in the day, passed out on the lawn there. It's a weird scene. That was like 2:45 in the morning. This is like 2004. God, I remember those years. Yeah, anyways, lots changed since then. Did my daughter paint that? Yeah. So this used to be like the club zone, and now most of this is turned over, and this here is the Well. This is the old Globe and Mail building, and they're doing a massive development there. Now the building itself is very cool. This is a hard loft conversion. It's beautiful brick, and you can see here, it's only 6 levels. So again, you're the penthouse. I'm not gonna lie, if I was marketing this, I would call this unit 604, because I think the penthouse is pretty silly. Okay, so here it is flipped. The point I was making is that I think in a 6-story building to call it the penthouse is a bit silly. So you can see here, the thing that I like is probably going to be the 687 square foot terrace. This unit is what, 932 and 626, so we're talking what, 1,500 and carry the 1-ish. So looks good on paper, right? Principal living, principal dining, and kitchen. 3-piece bath in the main. Now, upstairs, we have a bedroom and a family room. So right off the bat, it's niche, but that's what you want. That's what I want in a penthouse. I don't need 3 to 4 bedrooms in a penthouse unless I'm the CEO of a company that is working downtown at First Canadian Place, and I have a penthouse because it's cool and it's white glove service and my kids are going to stay there or they're going to come back from school or whatever it is. But for my typical demographic, the people looking for a penthouse are looking for something cool. So this is kind of neat. It's an open concept ensuite bath. You know, who doesn't like to watch their significant other do things in there? Right. Rooftop terrace. Now they've put 1 here and 1 here, so it's actually split. Now, as for the photos, here's where things get a bit dicey. So yeah, I don't love the decor. I mean, look, I love Egyptian monuments as much as the next person, but I think it's pretty tough in here. Oh, they've got 2. That's great. It's pretty tough with this staging to really, holy crap, what is that? Showcase this in the best possible light. And now, kudos to the person that built this to their needs because they like it, it's beautiful, and you know, it's their own. I think it's gonna be a tough sell. Now, do you want to depersonalize this? No, because it's gonna cost you a ton of money. You're probably better off just leaving it as is and seeing what kind of bites you get. So from a penthouse perspective, and again, you look outside, there's going to be big buildings here eventually, right? Like Purple Wall, I would have taken out all this stuff. Like if this was totally vacant, it would sell better. Now this is where we start to get into some like, I don't know what to do here, right? This is why I said I would leave it as is. If a buyer is interested in this space, which to be perfectly honest, I don't think they will be at this price, what are they going to do with this? So you're either A, finding the one buyer that also loves Egypt and cool, weird, not weird, but different things, and open concept toilets, or you're finding the buyer that will buy this place and tear it apart. So there you can see is the one terrace there. And, oh, was there a sword there? Yeah, there's a sword there. This is the family room, and it overlooks downstairs. And there's the other terrace. Okay, so, you know, I mean, what do we make of it? Well, it's a great building, right? It's a hard loft. It's west facing. There's a lot going for this, but at $1,875,000 for $1,558, this doesn't make any sense to me. 1,875 divided by 1,558. It's $1,200 a foot. $1,200 a foot. 78 days in the market, no price change. You could put this in the market for 1.6, and I don't think you're selling it. So it's just interesting to see what some people do. Kudos to the seller for, you know, having his or her dream place, but you made it kind of tough on the resale market. Okay, so here's one I love, and this is the one I sent to my hockey player last night. It's awesome, right? 32 Trolley. Where's 32 Trolley? Well, it's down here in Corktown Commons, if that's what you want to call it. What do they call it? Canary District. There's a lot of different names for this. So 32 Trolley. So you've got Lower River. There's one building here, one building two. You take the Chugga Chugga trolley around, and the entrance is here. And it faces the Don River, DVP, etc. So there's a few penthouses in here. I've seen one a friend of mine used to have, and right off the bat, we're looking at this. This is cool, and I've never seen this before. So typically you'll have a railing, right? And it has to be to code. Here, they said, let's just go right up to the top. It's kind of like a penalty. It's like a penalty box, like maybe I'm thinking hockey in my head here, but you know, it's kind of like you're in the arena. But the outdoor space is amazing. So $1,999,000, I think it's a bit high, right? How many square feet is it? 1,450. 1,450. Let's see. You're already ahead of me doing the math. $1,379, $1,379 per square foot. Of course, you're not taking the outdoor space into consideration, but I do think that's a bit high. 22 days in the market. Is this the first time it was listed? Let's check. Yes, it was. So we've got a 2-bed plus 1 3-bath. It is 2-story. They're calling this a den. It's not, and that's part of the issue I have with the square footage. But you're buying this for the outdoor space, okay? So you've got a bar outside, you've got an awning, you've got a barbecue, you've got a gas line. Beautiful CN Tower view behind glass. We've strung some lights. It's awesome. Now this, if this was your living, dining, kitchen, would be so nice, but it's not. It's raised up a level, and you can see they're calling this a den. I don't know that it's really a den. Some nice shots here. Light little barbecue area, or what do you call it, chimenea? Okay, so let's take a look at that den. There you go. What do you call this? A little fire pit, chimenea situation. Okay, so this is the den. Now, it's not really a den. I don't know. Maybe someone does work here. It could be a cool spot to work, but really it's like a landing, and they're including that in the square footage at $1,379 a foot. You're paying how much money for this, right? So there's a little balcony that's west facing off of the main, and you can see the roofs of the other buildings. They're never going to build higher, so you're always going to have an unobstructed view. So inside, it's a really great layout. Okay, principal living, principal dining, huge kitchen, and then a massive bedroom. So you know I don't love the pillars, but what are you going to do? That's the lesser of many evils. It's super upgraded inside. They said $75,000 in upgrades. I'd like to think for $1.9 million, $2 million, you have $75,000 in upgrades, right? Oh, okay. Got the staging apples there. So, I mean, it's not a massive place inside. It's only 1,450 square feet. And I know some of you guys are like renting and you're like, but I'm in 450. So second bedroom's a bit tight, right? That's the master. Or sorry, that's the master, which has a great west-facing view, of course. But it's just not a huge place. And so at $2 million, again, I mean, call me crazy, but like, I think this is overpriced by $200,000. I really do. Now, I've made no bones about the fact that the condo market is sluggish. I have multiple listings sitting, all of which woulda, coulda, shoulda sold a different market. I think people like this want to say, let's try it. Let's try it. We'll see what happens. I don't understand. The market for this, it's not where it was in February. $2 million for a 2-bedroom, 1,450 square foot place. Yes, it's unique. And my buddy's place, colleague, not really friends, talk to him once a year. I don't know what you call that. Acquaintance. My acquaintance, this place. No one says that. Yeah, I've got an acquaintance who has the place on the other side. His place was absolutely gorgeous, and it's very cool. And I know it says Penthouse 9. There aren't this many of these. There, I believe, are 2, maybe 3 of these. So it's definitely unique, but it is on the pricey side. Okay. 80 John, Penthouse 3. So, look. If you're like me, you're 5'11" and named Dave. No, if you're like me, you're a cynic. And I've always been a cynic. This is Festival Tower. Now, Festival Tower and the second one was Cinema Tower. When Festival Tower first came out, I wrote the snarkiest blog post about how they named all the floor plans. You know, they're like, oh, the Monroe plan. Okay, cool. I mean, better than plans A, B, C, D, and E. But it was like the Monroe, the Pacino. And I was like, one day I'm going to run into somebody, you know, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm over at Festival Tower. I'm the lucky recipient of one of the Bacon units. Yeah, my condo was named after the Kevin Bacon. Wild Things, Footloose. It's actually an unbelievable movie. My sister used to force us to watch it every time she babysat for us. And now it's ingrained in my brain. The tractor race, seriously? That scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Okay, and when Chris Penn gets in the bar fight and he gets punched, sucker punched. So yeah, I don't love the building. I don't love the location. And I've included this one not because I like it, but because, again, I want to talk to you guys about penthouses, right? So welcome to Penthouse 3 at Festival Tower, above Tiff Bell Lightbox. What is that and who cares? I'm a cynic, guys. I'm so boring. Saturday night, I want to have a Ryan ginger ale when my wife passes out because she gets up with her kids because I'm a terrible husband and father. I just want to bid on some hockey cards on eBay and maybe watch a movie I've seen 35 times, right? Oh, Die Hard's on. I haven't seen that in 2 weeks, right? A little bit of that, flip to the next thing. I don't understand the people that, like, what is the Tiff Bell Lightbox and who cares, right? Like, I had a buddy when we were growing up and all he wanted to do was be popular and famous and whatever. And he would, like, go to TIFF parties. He's like, oh man, got in this TIFF party last night. I was within 8 feet of Robert De Niro. Who gives a like, who cares? That's not my target market. People like that typically don't work with me. I work with sensible people. And this unit, it's 59 days in the market for $2.8 million. I don't know. It's so particular. I don't like the gray ceiling, right? You know, furniture super modern, right? We've got, sorry about that. We've got really dark floors. We've got really dark paint. We've got concrete in here. And this is, if it's not aftermarket, then it was done custom. So this is not my thing. And again, you tell me that this is great. Keeping in mind, of course, that like this is great on a relative scale. A lot of people would like this. If you're renting, you would like this. If you're in a $900,000 house, you would like this. If you're in a 1-bedroom condo, you would like this. But I don't know. I mean, this is like the dinner party that I don't want to go to, I think. It's dark, man. It's unique. I'll give it that. And I'm not trying to crap on it. It's just kind of naturally happened. Like my son. Every morning at 6:30. So concrete wall. Again, I'm going to get around to the kitchen. Yeah, man. Like the concrete. It just feels like they're going for museum look. So this kitchen's really nice, but look how dark it is. Look at the dark ceiling, the dark floor, and the concrete wall. Look at this. It's got a mausoleum effect happening here. I mean, if this wasn't here, open concept, sure. Maybe some people like that. You do have a proper eat-in. And again, it's a penthouse. So you have an unbelievable view, right? Yellow wall, not my thing. I don't know what's happening right here. Like this is way beyond, this is like 10 levels of cool above me, right? This is like so cool. You're lining up for brunch for like 2 hours because you want to put it on Instagram and say that you were there. Meanwhile, I already ate and then did 2 appointments and went home and I'm working out, right? Like this is that cool. This is like just like we don't even want to talk to David because he won't, his mind will blow up with what kind of writing is on this wall, metaphorically and literally. So yeah, I mean, look, a lot of penthouses through the city are so, you can tell why I picked this one. They're so particular and they're so specific. Like this ceiling color matches this thing. Cool, great. I don't know if this costs $100 or $100,000. My thing about art, get an original, you know, oil painting. Some poor villager in some country that you visited literally took like a tarp as a canvas and painted this beautiful thing. It's one of one and signed it. And it cost you 25 bucks. Give the guy 50, make his year. And then you go and get it framed and you put that on the wall. I got that. I saw the person paint it. That's my thing about art. I'm sure Van Goghs look really cool, but do you really like, no? Yes? Maybe? Fine. Extremely particular. Again, super dark colors. This is a penthouse. This is a penthouse. It's high up. It's the top level. I wouldn't go out there because I got vertigo when I went to Kilimanjaro in 2010. The views are beautiful. You can see the CN Tower. I'll give it all that. but it's so particular. And it's just so, here we get into the amenities, right? You got to pay for these amenities, right? You know, again, you're working out here. Hey, Kevin Bacon's agent is working out on the treadmill next to you. So I told you this would be cynical, right? I don't know what's happening here. Like, I don't know what's happening here. This is where, like, my old buddy would be like, man, I saw the screening last night of this independent film. Yeah, it was a film in Japanese written in Braille. And, you know, there was actually no picture. It's something your mind would blow if I even told you about it. And yeah, I saw some pretty good celebs, friends that were there, and we all talked. Like, who cares? Anyways, Festival Tower, welcome. So yeah, let's move on, because I think I've got a couple that I might actually like. Yeah, hey, cool. All right, this is working for me. This is gonna work for David, okay? I'm talking about myself in the first person. So 3395 for 2800. Now that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but you know, we're what, $1,200 a square foot. It has a 2100 private rooftop terrace. So this is the kind of thing, and it's not just about terraces for me, it's about unique, and it's about, like, I don't need to live at Festival Tower in that weird ass dark place. This to me is cool. Tell me that this isn't cool, right? This is the entire roof basically of this building. Now I've got a client who has one of these, and I think he's on like the other side. So interior, right, it's still great. An 8-person table. Right? We've got high ceilings, they're not painted black for whatever reason. We've got a big screen TV and a 10-person sectional couch. The kitchen's not walled off with concrete. And I mean, this is staging if I've ever seen it, right? You got 2 chairs sitting underneath a staircase. I could come home, my dad would be sitting there, hey, I was waiting for you. Okay, so we've got a little barbecue balcony there, right? So you don't have to go all the way upstairs, but like, yeah, this is good. This is cool. This is not all dark. You know, you got your wine cellar in there. Cool, 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 cool. And it's not overbuilt. I mean, it's very expensive, and I don't agree with the price. So yeah, you can see out here, and then we're going to get up top there in a minute. So let's get up there. Okay, master bedroom, nice size. Don't like the finish, is fine. Another bedroom, couch. I'm really just trying to skip to get to the top. Plus, this is getting a little long in the tooth. Okay, so now we're starting to feel like this might be penthouse-esque. Well, we got our own dressing room. What do you want for 3.4 schmil? And we're back to here for some reason. Okay, so now we're going up top. It was a rainy day when we took these photos. That's a shame. Honestly, for 3.5 mil, why wouldn't they come back and take the photos again? Hello! We saved photos from when it wasn't raining. This is unbelievable. This, to me, is what a penthouse should be about. A penthouse should not be about, I live atop the Bell Light Box, okay? This is cool. This is unbelievable. They put Trex decking out here, which is amazing for many reasons. It's durable, and it's also going to let the water drain through the cracks, and you're never going to have to squeegee or anything out there. Okay, so we have a massive barbecue. We've got a garden hose. We've got patio cushion storage. Are you one of those people, when it starts to rain, you look outside, the cushions! Hurry, get the cushions! I had a friend like that a long time ago. I don't care. Let the cushions get wet, and I'll deal with it tomorrow. So look, you can see the CN Tower. I mean, what more do you want? This is an unbelievable spot. Are you with me here, guys? Tell me that you want to go back to the Bell Light Box. They're calling me. I don't have time for that. And here you go, the rest of King West. Cool. All right, one more, guys. This one's a knockout. So 290 Adelaide Street West, Penthouse 1. I have a client in the next penthouse, and we've been watching this one. So for 5.45 million, they are 3,550 square feet plus the 1,900 square foot terrace. So let's take a look at the address history. Okay, 5.98, 5.98, 5.75, 5.45. All right, okay. How many days on market? 88, 61, 135, 75. Yeah, a lot. This place is beautiful. So for those of you that don't know, sorry, let me go back to this. Right? We're literally a stone's throw from Festival Tower. This one, you can't see Kevin Bacon here. It's impossible. So it's a 3-bed, 4-bath. Again, you don't necessarily need 3 bedrooms, but like for the, you know, I was going to say the CEO. No, the CEO is going to live at the Ritz-Carlton, right? That's where the CEO is going to live. They're going to live at 183. This, I don't know. This is the athlete's place. It's just different. You know, the CEO wants the white glove service and the privacy. This is what the athlete wants. But this is literally the roof of the building, guys. This is a penthouse to me. This is a penthouse. This is not Penthouse 16 at 230 King Street. Look at this. You're on the roof. I mean, I would be scared, you know what, less. The vertigo, yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. Delayed reaction, I guess, from being at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. But I mean, this is wild. This is wild. I honestly would get so nervous being out there. So look at the amount of space that's out here. It's crazy. And yes, that's technically the roof of that spot, but that's all mechanicals. So I mean, and inside it's beautiful. It really is. To me, this resonates more with me than that festival tower, cinema tower place. A lot of glass, floor to ceiling, 3,500 square feet. You know, and some people are like, oh, I want it more open concept. Yeah, it's got 3 bedrooms, but you know, I was in a place, the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I did not get that listing. That's one of those frustrating ones where the relocation company is paying for it, and you know they're going to list with the person that sold it to them 3 years ago, but they have to bring in another agent because that's the process, the red tape. So I go in there, you know, and of course they end up listing with the other person. But big name person, and I went in there, like $8 million place. You know what? 3 bedrooms. One of them is like where you watch TV, because at that level you don't have a TV in the living room. It'd be so gauche. So you can do what you want with this, right? Here's your den, or that's one of the bedrooms they opened up. And yeah, there's a lot of, you know, bedroom / den, hallway, cavernous, whatever. Like, you have 3,550 square feet. It's not going to be all open concept. And I feel like one of the critiques of places like this are people like, yeah, you know, I just wish it was more open. I mean, think about it. It's an embarrassment of riches. Between your living, dining, and kitchen, you've probably got 1,700 square feet just in that area. You've got to have hallways. Then you've got bathrooms. You've got storage. You've got walk-in closet, right? So you're going to have 3 bedrooms, and they're all going to have their own door. And that's eaten up in the square footage. Anyways, guys, so that's it for this one. Absolutely gorgeous place. So I'll tell you, if the person came to me and they're like, I have $8 million, I would rather go and buy this for $5 million and then pocket 3 than, where were we here? This just doesn't make any sense. So we'll go back to the 5 here in the interest of time. What did we learn? I mean, we learned some penthouses aren't really penthouses, like this one here. It's the 6th floor. And we learned that this is a pretty ugly spot that someone's going to have to gut. 32 Trolley, great spot, pricey because it's got the pH. 80 John, I didn't like anything about it, right? Who are they marketing towards? The person that likes their style. Very particular, and people in penthouses often will go nuts and do that. Maybe there was a sale on dark gray paint, I don't know. 478 King might be a bit pricey too, but where else are you going to find a terrace like that that's the roof of the building? And then 290 Adelaide, this is one of the coolest units in the entire city of Toronto right now. If I were to come up with a top 10 list, top 10 coolest units, this would absolutely positively be on the list. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. I certainly hope that this filmed. I know it did, but I'm one of those people that's a skeptic. When I was having emailing issues the other day, I said, Oren, my Outlook on my new computer is not synced with my old computer, is not synced with my phone, and Bosley's IT department has no idea what's up. And he's, you know, probably chewing on a carrot. He's like, yeah, you know, the IT company you guys have are terrible, and when you wake up in the morning and everything's finished downloading, it'll all be in sync. And I was like, Oren, I love you, but I don't believe you. Sure enough, I wake up in the morning, oh yeah, it all downloaded, and now it matches my other 2 computers. Have the faith. It's very hard. I'm a control person, and I actually kind of like my new setup. 2 brand new monitors, and boy is my laptop ever light. I have a 17-inch monitor. I refuse to get a smaller one, and apparently no one makes 17-inch monitors anymore. Laptop Dell. Anyways, guys, thank you for putting up with more ramblings than usual this week. Hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic weekend. See you next week. Bye.